Oh yeah!
Hello, ladies and gentlemen of the media. My name is Lucas, aka Macho Emolga. Welcome back to our press conference for Week 2 of the PBL regular season. Last week we got a 4-0 victory. It was a very close victory. The score doesn't necessarily show how close it could have been against the Anaheim Golducks and their coach Tornado 300, but we are currently sitting at 1-0 as we go into Week 2 of the regular season in an interdivisional matchup against our Soul Link partner, TCF Eric and the Denver Rapidash. It's a very good team looking at their roster currently, and me and our assistant coach Little Macho have just finished finalizing our game plan as we bring it to you. So hopefully we can put together something this week that will counter his team. But looking over it, we have Mega Alakazam for the Mega. His two OUs are Caesar and Superior. His two OUs definitely boasting a big fire weakness between the two of them. Caesar is ×4 to fire, and Superior is not the bulkiest of all Pokemon. So if you're not running especially defensive investment, a lot of fire attacks will be one-hit KOs on it. Then he also has Aggron, Galvantula, Nidoking, and Tentacruel for his UU Mons. Once again, out of those 4 Pokemon, Aggron has ×4 weakness to fighting and to ground. Galvantula is a pretty thin Pokemon. Nidoking can do a lot of things, and I am pretty worried about it this week. And then Tentacruel is a very bulky UU, specially defensive Mon. It doesn't have many weaknesses, and it is his only spinner on the team, so we're definitely going to be expecting him to bring that to clear away hazards. And then for his lower tier Mons, we have Bronzong, Delphox, and Medicham. 3 psychic types, which is interesting to see down in the lower tier. All 3 of them, despite all being psychic types, do very different things. Bronzong is a very bulky wall. Delphox is a great special attacker. Medicham with pure power is a great physical attacker. So despite all sharing a typing, they're not all necessarily going to be doing the same things. In fact, all 3 of them do very different things, which is interesting to see. But now that we look at his roster, things that we're noticing is that there are a lot of thin Pokemon on his team. Mega Alakazam isn't that bulky of a Mega. Galvantula is pretty thin. Aggron and Caesar both have ×4 weaknesses. Nidoking isn't super bulky. Nidoqueen is the more defensive of the Nido evolutions, so it's not the bulkiest. It's not necessarily a thin Pokemon. Tentacruel can't take physical hits. Bronzong is incredibly bulky, and I will be worried about that. Delphox is pretty thin, and Medicham, it really depends on what attack you can bring, but sometimes you can sneeze on it and take it out, despite that huge attack power. So when we look at his team, we see Caesar, Superior, Galvantula, Bronzong are all weak to fire attacks, and Bronzong is definitely needed to bring a fire attack. So our number 1 Pokemon we're bringing this week is going to be Chandelure. That fire typing hits those Pokemon, and then also that ghost typing hits Mega Alakazam. That ghost typing also hits Bronzong and Delphox and Medicham, as I said, those 3 psychic types at the bottom there. It's really overall a really good coverage Mon to bring against his team, just looking at his roster. Looking at his team, I think he very possibly could bring something with Substitute, so we're bringing Infiltrator over Flash Fire this week. I don't necessarily like doing that. I like to have the fire immunity, but I think he could, after seeing my match last week and kind of maybe getting some ideas from it, be running something with a Substitute set on Switch-In. So if I think that's possibly coming, I can switch into Shandy with that Infiltrator and take it out, because a lot of his things I can't hit for super effective damage with my move typing. We're going to be needing a Choice Scarf this week to outpace things that I am super effective against, like Delphox and Mega Alakazam, so we definitely need the Choice Scarf this week. Max Speed, Max Special Attack, 4 Special Defense. Moveset's going to be Flamethrower and Shadow Ball, obviously, because those are our stab moves and it hits a great number of people on his team. Also, we'll be bringing the HP Ground on Chandelure, because pretty much Aggron, if I don't bring HP Ground from a Shandy against an Aggron with a pretty significant amount of specially defensive and HP investment, is still gonna be a one-hit KO. And then for the last, I have Trick. This is mostly to try to neutralize that Bronzong, possibly. I know I can hit it for super effective damage with Shadow Ball, but I don't really want to have, I want to have that Choice Scarf, I think, on something like maybe Bronzong, possibly something that's going to be a wall like Aggron, or maybe Galvantula. I could bring out Chandelure on the first turn, and if he brings in Galvantula and has like a Focus Sash and expects to set up Sticky Webs, I can trick it into a Sticky Web or something like that. And then I would receive the Focus Sash myself so that I'd be able to live any hit, which still would be pretty good for me with Chandelure. So that's kind of what I'm planning on doing with that. Next up for our second slot, we have probably one of, if not my favorite, my second favorite team member, and that's Thundurus. Really just overall such a versatile Pokemon and really can fit into a lot of our schemes every week. Still running Prankster, running Timid. I'm running Life Orb on this thing because I want to be able to do the most damage, and pretty much Life Orb gives me the ability to get a really big punch off and not have to be locked into something with Choice Specs, and I don't need Choice Scarf because we're boasting base 111 speed as it is, and that pretty much outpaces everything but Mega Alakazam or Choice Scarfer on his team. Max Special Attack, Max Speed, 4 HP with Thunderbolt, Psychic, Thunder Wave, and HP Fire. HP Fire is there because, as mentioned before, there's a lot of things on his team that are weak to Fire. Specifically, that's mostly there for Scizor and Serperior. Thunderbolt, there for good neutral typing. Psychic is there because I can't really touch Nidoking if I don't bring Psychic. And then Thunder Wave, basically, if I have Life Orb damage and I'm down to being like 4 HP or something, and he brings it, like if I'm in on something, I have full HP, something, I Thunderbolt something and don't take it out, it hits me, brings me down really low, I Thunderbolt it again, and I'm down to like 30 HP or something with Thundurus, and he brings in something that I think is going to be a Choice Scarfer. I won't be able to outspeed it, but I will have Prankster still, so I can Thunder Wave his Choice Scarfer unless it's Nidoking, and pretty much neutralize it, which is the reason I'm bringing that in that 4th move slot. Third Pokemon we're bringing this week is going to be Diggersby. Normal ground typing with huge power. Basically, looking at his team, I think that Diggersby is the best sweeper to bring this week because I'm not going to be out. His team is very fast, but it's also very thin. So I can hopefully get up a Swords Dance for my setup move and then start quicking attacking things. And Swords Dance and Quick Attack matched up with the Silk Scarf that I will be packing on this thing can pack a huge wallop to everything but like Bronzong. And for Bronzong, I still outspeed it even without speed investment, and then I am packing Fire Punch on this thing, which after a Swords Dance will be an OHKO. Assuming that he's running Levitate and not Heat Proof, and if he is running Heat Proof, then I have Earthquake. Anyway, pretty much 252 attack, 252 HP, 4 defense, rocking Quick Attack, Earthquake, Swords Dance, and Fire Punch. That's the moveset. I think it can be a great sweeper this week. I think it does a number to his team. We just need to find the right time to bring it in. Medicham can outpace it, and even after a Swords Dance, I don't think a Quick Attack from full health kills it. So basically, for Medicham, we're going to need to get that thing low with some Stealth Rocks and maybe even some other hits, possibly sacrificing a Pokemon to bring down Medicham some, and then come in with Diggersby and Quick Attack it. Because a non-Swords Dance Quick Attack, I believe, is hitting somewhere around 40% on that thing, with Silk Scarf and Huge Power, which is definitely really nice. Our 4th Pokemon and our last offensive threat, or at least last primary offensive threat, is going to be Kiram this week. I was debating between bringing Kiram or Mega Gyarados, but I feel like a lot of his strategy could be, at least not a lot because Mega Gyarados didn't do a lot last week, but a good amount of his strategy could be preparing for Mega Gyarados, because Mega Gyarados can definitely hurt you if you don't prepare any for it. So I feel like he's going to be bringing some stuff to counter that, so I don't want to bring Mega Gyara this week. And Kiram is a pretty overall decent Pokemon to bring this week. Dragon Ice typing. We're going to bring it Timid with max speed, max special attack, and 4 HP. I want to be able to bluff the Scarf on this thing, just naturally outspeed something with a move, and then when he brings in something that, because he thinks I'm Scarfed into an attack, say I go for Earth Power on the Aggron, and I kill it, and then he brings in the Bronzong, assuming that I am Choice Scarfed into Earth Power. I'm also rocking Shadow Ball. An Expert Shadow Ball on this thing will definitely do a great deal of damage to that Bronzong, so that's why I'm running Expert Belt on this thing. I'm trying to bluff the Scarf a little bit. Moveset is Draco Meteor, Earth Power, Ice Beam, and Shadow Ball. Really great coverage all around. I really like Kiram this week. I think it could do a lot for us. Fifth move slot is Mandibuzz. Dark Flying type, Overcoat, Careful Nature because it is our specially defensive wall for the week. It's our special wall, but we are packing Rocky Helmet on it to kind of like whittle down some things. Basically, that Rocky Helmet is to try to whittle down Medicham if it comes in on us, or some other physical threats. Basically, that's the plan. 252 HP, 252 special defense, 4 in defense with knockoff, the slow U-turn, roost, and defog. I'm not bringing Tailwind this week because I feel like overall outpacing things isn't as big of a deal for us this week as it was last week. We are bringing a bit faster of a team this week than last week, so I feel like that could definitely help us. Having U-turn for switch initiative rather than having Tailwind. And our last Pokemon, our team captain, one of my favorite Pokemon overall. If not my favorite Pokemon on the team, then my second favorite team. Him and Thundurus are tied right up at the top. Jirachi, not going to be in the front line physically attacking role this week. Instead, he's going to be the physical wall, kind of try to brunt some hits. He's going to have to take some hits this week. Steel Psychic type with Serene Grace still, Impish Nature, Leftovers, max HP, max defense, 4 attack. Rocking Fire Punch, Stealth Rocks, Wish, and Protect. Basically, I'm running. I don't think Iron Head Flinch is going to be a great strategy this week to run on this thing, and he has a lot of physical threats, so I'm running Fire Punch in order to hopefully get that Serene Grace burn on something. Potentially, maybe Medicham being able to take any one hit that the thing wants to hit me with, and then firing a Fire Punch off that probably won't kill, but will possibly burn it, and then burn Drain Punch from Medicham still would not kill Diggersby with how bulky it is. So Fire Punch, Stealth Rocks, Wish Protect for recovery, possibly Wish passing off into something else. So that's the roster this week. I'm really hoping that it's a good one. I spent a great deal of time, me and Little Macho have been in the lab cooking up some plans for what he could be bringing, doing some practice against some of our extras on the bench, just people that kind of help me battle and scout with me. So I think we have a good strategy this week. I definitely think we have a good strategy this week. We have hard counters to a lot of things. Pretty much the one thing this week that I have a counter for, but I don't really feel like it's the best, is Medicham. Jirachi, being our physical wall and being majorly resistant to Psychic and being neutral to fighting, can take on Medicham, but it's pretty much the only thing. So if he brings in on Medicham on something that isn't Jirachi and I have to switch into Jirachi on it, it can't take many hits. So then I could get caught into some kind of Wish Protect kind of thing where it will not work out well for us. But pretty much this week, I'm confident, definitely confident. I feel like we got the right players for the job. I feel like we have the right strategy to get this done. It's all going to come down to execution, as it usually does in Pokemon. In a league like this, it's 50% planning and 50% executing when you know all the Pokemon your opponent could bring. So I feel like we definitely have nailed the 50% of preparing. I feel like we have a good strategy. We have the mons we need. The next 50% is just going to be executing, and you can't plan for misplays. And if I misplay something, then everything could kind of snowball, especially with Medicham lurking. I know he's bringing Medicham with how well it did for him last week. So really, it's not that I don't want to prepare for it, it's that I don't have the mons to prepare for it very well. So that's it for me. Hopefully you guys have enjoyed this video. Hopefully the members of the media that are here have enjoyed hearing me talk. Really just hope you come out and see our game tomorrow against TCF Eric and the Denver Rapidash. It should be an amazing battle. Anyway, happy Saturday, Macho Maniacs. My name is Lucas, aka Macho Emolga. Watch for that PBL battle video coming to you tomorrow, and thank you so much for the support. Peace, guys.
Oh, yeah!